How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just I just want to come on here for a while to talk about something. Well, just to let y'all know, it's not an All Elite Wrestling review or me covering a song. This video that I'm doing right now is a birthday shout out to someone that means the world to me. As you know, today my cousin Harley Hill is turned my cousin Harley Hill turned 30 years old today. And as you know, my cousin Harley Hill, he has Down syndrome. You know, he's mentally challenged, special needs, whatever you want to call it. But that don't define who he is, because just because he has that disability doesn't mean he's different. Because he's still a person just like we are. And my cousin, he's a sweet-natured guy, and anytime he can come in the room, he can light up a room every time he enters it. Because he's sweet-natured, he's funny, he cusses like a sailor and talks about sex and all that all the time. But, he's a good boy. And I practically grew up with him. Like my grandmother, Lori Roberts, which is my mom, Kim Lackey's mother, used to keep him all the time. Well, my maternal grandmother, Lori Roberts, who I was just talking about, she is my cousin Harley Hill's aunt, because my cousin Harley's dad, Charlie Hill, is my great uncle. But the thing is, my cousin Harley Hill, he doesn't have his dad in his life, because his dad left his life when he was about a year old, maybe 2 years old, something like that. Never was in his life. Which my great uncle Charlie is a piece of shit for what he done to my cousin Harley. But he still has my cousin, he still has his mom, he still has his sisters, because he has a brother and a sister on my great uncle Charlie's side, because he has a brother named Heath and a sister named Haley that belonged to my great uncle Charlie. And he has 3 sisters by his mother, Benita Vaughn. He has 3 sisters by his mother, Benita Vaughn, and their names are Tanya, Ashley, and Megan. Now, my great uncle Charlie, which is my cousin Harley's father, is not in his life, and neither are his brother Heath and his sister Haley on my great uncle Charlie's side. They're not in his life either. Really, none of my mom's side of the family are in my cousin's life except for me, because I'm the only one that ever has anything to do with him. I try to go see him every chance I get. But, I can't see him all the time because the distance and everything, because he's almost about a couple to few hours away. And I can't go see him all the time because gas and miles and all that shit. And plus me working all the time, because I work 40 hours a week. I work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. So I can't go see him all the time like I want to. because of the distance and me working and everything. But my cousin, he, like I said, he's a sweet-natured kid, because like I said, he has Down syndrome and he has a mind of a small child. But he's sweet-natured and everything. And like I said, I practically grew up with my cousin Harley Hill, and but my grandmother Lori Roberts used to keep him. Well, my great grandmother Betty Hill, who is no longer in this world, she passed away on May 1st, 2010. She was 82 and died and passed away from a stroke. But she was my cousin Harley's grandmother and my great-grandmother. But it's quite sad because me and my great-grandmother, Betty Hill, rest in peace to her, are the only ones that out of my mom's side of the family that gave a shit about my cousin Harley Hill. Now, my great-grandmother Betty Hill used to keep my cousin Harley when he was a little boy, but as he got older, as he got older and got bigger and everything, my great-grandmother, she was getting older as well, and it was getting hard for her to take care of him like she used to, so she had to quit taking care of him and everything because of her age, and it was getting hard on her. And so my grandmother, Lori Roberts, kept him up until he turned 18 years old. And she kept him for a long time, but the reality of her keeping him, she was using him, because she was only keeping him for his my grandmother Lori Roberts was only keeping my cousin Harley Hill because she was getting paid to do it. She was getting paid for $2,000 a month. She was getting paid $2,000 a month from the state to take care of him up until he turned 18. But once he turned 18, she stopped getting paid. So she quit. So after she stopped getting paid from the state, she stopped having anything to do with my cousin, which was downright bullshit, because that was bullshit of her to use him like that. And that really pissed me off. I will say that. And ever since then, ever since my great-grandmother Betty Hill passed away, and ever since my grandmother Lori Roberts quit keeping my cousin, they just, my mom's side of the family, because that's what side of the family my cousin Harley Hill is on. He's on my mom's side of the family. He's my mom's first cousin and my second cousin. But, there's a bunch of things I can say about my cousin Harley Hill. Like I said, he's sweet. He has Down syndrome. He's sweet-natured. Everything. Like, he can light up a room every time he enters it, and he always has you in stitches laughing. Because just the things he says and does, like, he's a trip. And, but this is the first time in years that I'm going to be spending his birthday with him, because I haven't been able to spend time with him on his birthday since I was a child, because we were separated from each other at a young age, because because of my family wouldn't let us around each other after all that bullshit happened. and it just it fucking tore my ass up. But I'm glad that I'm finally going to be able to spend time with him on his birthday this year, especially on his 30th, on his big 30, because he's going to be 30 years old. But my cousin, like I said, I know I've already said this 1,000 times, but he's sweet-natured and he's funny and everything. But he loves playing video games, and and he used to love to dance, but he don't dance anymore, he don't dance anymore. But he loves to play video games. He loves food. He loves pop. And there's a bunch of funny shit that he has done, and it's all he's fucking hilarious. Like, I'll never forget that time when I was a child, when we were both kids, and he was staying down at my parents' house with us, and me and him were squirting each other with water guns, and we soaked my parents' garage because my dad just cleaned the garage, and we soaked it up with the water hose, trying to put water guns and everything. Well, my dad took the fly swat and busted my ass, and then he grabbed I'm sorry. He grabbed my cousin by the wrist and was dragging him in the house. My cousin said, "Oh no." My dad said, "Oh yeah." And so my dad got my cousin in the kitchen, and my dad took the fly swat to my cousin, but my cousin had his hands on his ass. My dad moved his hands out of the way, and my dad wore his ass out with the fly swat. And my cousin told my dad, he said, "Thank you." Oh shit. And my dad was about ready to wear his ass out again, but he took off running with me. My cousin did. And but yeah, like, I also remember that time whenever when him and my brother were staying up at my grandmother's house, and my brother was doing a hunter safety class and doing homework for it, and my grandma told me and my cousin, she said, Harley, Ryan, and Austin James, go over there and do something so Cody Darren can do his homework. So me and my cousin went and played video games, whatever, and my cousin, he got pissed off. He said, Lore, no, I'm not your friend no more, and I'm not on your team. And my grandmother busted his ass for it. And, like I said, there's just a lot of funny shit, that he's done. And, one time, there was one time he said something to me, like when I talked to him on Facebook, he told me, he said, I'm king of cuss, man. And I was like, okay. I know he cusses like a sailor. And, it was funny because, the last time I was visiting with him, he had me in stitches laughing because he was sitting there smacking his mother's ass, and he said, "I like your ass, man." He said, I like your ass, man. After he smacked her ass, and I couldn't keep from laughing, and I'm sorry, but these stories are just cracking me up. And he called him, and it was funny though, he called his sister, one of his sisters, his sister Ashley, he said, "Ashley is a pussy hole." Oh, and there was one time because he has a big crush on his sister Megan's best friend. And Jesus Christ, like, she was up there either using the bathroom or taking a shower, and my cousin, he takes a fucking ladder, climbs up that ladder to peek through the window. And me and his mom both were out there, and she said, Harley, what are you doing? He said, Mom, tell Frank, which is his stepdad, he said, Mom, tell Frank to cut down the trees. I can't see. I was busted out laughing. And, because it was funny because, because I seen that on Facebook and everything. But, and it's funny though, like, he was playing a rap song called Birthday Sex by Jeremiah on guitar, and he was like, Birthday Sex. And it was crazy. Like, he's a nut job. He's not a nut job, sorry for that. He is awesome. And like he's an awesome individual, and like, but there's just a lot of memories I have with my cousin, and we went 8 years, a little over 8 years without seeing each other, because the last time I seen him when we were kids was, well, when I was a kid, because, he's still a kid in his mind because of his Down syndrome. He can't help that because that's the way he was born. But like I said, people with special needs and that have Down syndrome, autism, all that, they're sweet-natured. They're very sweet-natured people. And, there was, when I went back to visit with him in September of last year, while he was playing video games, he was multitasking with me, talking to me. He was showing me a picture of his sister Megan's best friend, and he was calling her his wife, and then he was showing me all these trophies that he won in the Special Olympics, and he was also bragging about his achievements on his video games he was playing, and it felt like my own child was doing that for me, doing that to me. And and he's but and there was also one time when we were kids, when we went trick-or-treating, I was a scary doctor and he was Dracula. And he would go up to the people when they were passing out candy, and he'd go, trick or treat. That's what he'd do. But, like I said, he dressed up as a bunch of people on Halloween, like every year on Halloween. But, but like I said, before I jumped off topic, one time my cousin, before I jumped off to something else that has to do with my cousin. But anyway, the last time me and my cousin seen each other when we were children, when I was a child, was in May of 2010 at my great-grandmother Betty Hill's funeral. That was the last time I seen him when I was a child. And I went and seen him for the first time in over 8 years in October 2018. First time seeing him since I was a child. I mean, I video chatted with him and everything throughout our absence, of not seeing each other. I'd video chat with him and everything, but the first time I seen him as an adult was in October 2018, and that was over 8 years after the last time I seen him. And it was a great visit. I'm glad I got to visit with him, and I've seen him a couple of times since. And this will make my 4th time seeing him as an adult. Because, I've seen him a lot as a child, obviously, but since I've been an adult, I've seen him the first time I seen him as an adult was in October 2018. The second time was in September 2020. The third time was in May 2021, and today will be the fourth time in November 2021. Because, like I said, this is the first time in years, many years, that I've gotten to spend time with my cousin on his birthday, especially his big 30. And, I do miss those days with him. I do. Because we were close back in the day. Like, we'd play video games together and everything. And I tell you, every time we'd play Mortal Kombat and I'd beat his ass in it, he'd say, "I hate you." But, every time I'd win, he'd want to quit, so I ended up just letting him win, the game. And, like I said, he was a trip. But like I said, I do miss those days with him, that I didn't get to, that about when we were kids, spending time together and everything, and like I really do. Excuse me. But yeah, like I said, I do miss those days. I really do. And like I said, I'm looking forward to today, getting to spend time with my cousin on his big 30, his 30th birthday. And just know, my best friend, Jonathan Miller, also known as John Fun, because that's what me and everybody call him, John Fun. Well, my best friend Jonathan Miller, aka John Fun, is coming with me to spend, for me to spend time with my cousin on his birthday. And I appreciate him doing that for me. And everything. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and tell y'all some stories about my cousin Harley Hill, since it's his birthday. If anybody sees him out anywhere, like if anybody that knows him or whatever, or they see him out anywhere, or they have his family on social media, or like if y'all see him out anywhere, have his family on social media or anything, or if you want to comment on my videos or my Facebook posts or whatever, and wish him a happy birthday, please do that, because that would mean a lot to him, knowing that you all would wish him a happy would wish him a happy birthday. I know damn well he'll very much appreciate that. So send your birthday wishes if you like, and hopefully he'll get a lot of them. And I just wanted to come on here and give a shout out to my cousin Harley Hill for his birthday. And I'll and like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing him later on today for his 30th birthday. But anyway, just wanted to come on here for a while and give a big shout out to my cousin Harley Hill for his birthday. And hope it's a good one for him. And like I said millions of times, I'll be going there to spend time. I'll be going and spending time with him on his birthday. And with that with that being said, my name is Austin. With that being said, my name is Austin Honaker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.